Hey guys, I'm gonna be discussing how I wound up buying like very, the very DVD box set of Saved by the Bell. Bought it during like the pandemic or post pandemic. Yet the post pandemic thing, yeah, I wound up buying the said like a DVD box set of Saved by the Bell, which during at the time when Saved by the Bell was written, aired, filmed, and casted, the time period that it came out in wasn't exactly known for today's quality of entertainment. But it was entertainment at the time. Because at the time, the entertainment business was not on par like it is now. There was only two types of potato quality Hollywood entertainment. You had the live action potato quality entertainment back in those days. Back in from like 1999 all the way back in 1950. We all know that the potato quality entertainment in that large chunk of televised Hollywood entertainment. And the only things that had gotten today's quality entertainment of the televised kind were the music videos in the 1980s and 1990s. But the 60s and 70s, well, mostly the 70s was all action flick. All potato quality action flicks. And the music videos around that time were also potato quality. Mainly because due to Kung Fu movies being like Kung Fu / Chinese action flicks being popular in the 70s. Music videos were of the same potato quality. We all know that when the potato qualities of said entertainment content and how it was perceived back in those days. But we all know just as well as the next person that the potato quality entertainment around that time was actually good around that time. But around that time, you had no way of having a set ability to discern good quality entertainment and potato quality entertainment. We all know this is true. If you look at the black and white era of Hollywood entertainment, back when movie theaters played one episode of a live action TV show, and that was shortly after the movies that played. And then at the very end, when people were leaving the movie theaters, a cartoon episode would play. And this is historical fact about the entertainment business back in those days. And music was harder as shit to implement in TV shows and movies and cartoon shows around that time, and it was like a lot more difficult than it is now to implement a theme song or a soundtrack to a TV show, movie, or cartoon series. And cartoons back in those days didn't get a movie at all. And that is a known fact. TV shows didn't get a movie. Did not at all get a movie. But we all know movies were a separate faction of the same medium of escapism around that time. But we all know that during that time, we had said enough, like, entertainment, but we should not obfuscate the reality that once the 60s, which was another peak scary horror movie decade, when drive-ins were a thing in the 50s and 60s, but slowly had a painful death in the 70s, when people went back to movie theaters to walk in to pay for the tickets to get to see movies. And we all know, and this is true, movie theaters were packed as shit during the era of when Grease 1 came out in the 1970s. And then years later, a little later, in the early 80s, Grease 2 came out. But TV shows, live action TV shows, such as as that one black TV show. I don't know what it's called. That came out in the mid 60s and dominated all of the 70s. And during that time, we all know that during that time, every single TV show that was black centered had potato quality stage and setting, potato quality cameras, and the writing was potato quality. The potato quality in writing had been a part of what was the staple for entertainment around that time. And during that time, the potato quality had been the standard norm, a entertainment and without a shadow of a doubt, a norm, a societal norm at the time. And it carried on through the 80s when television was in fact just as potato quality of television live action television shows around that time. And we all know there was at least 3 1990s, early 1990s, late 1980s TV shows. One that was predominantly white dominated, and 2 that were predominantly black dominated around that time. And these shows are legendary today. They sure as in shit wasn't as legendary when they came out, but they got like a crazy cult following around the time that the 3 or 2 decades were up. And these shows are Saved by the Bell, The Wayans Bros, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and the 4th honorable mention, the Jamie Foxx Show. And when the Jamie Foxx Show ended, we all know it was potato quality around that time. And during that time, the potato quality entertainment was the norm. the potato quality around that time was good entertainment in the early 90s and the late 80s. There wasn't very many of those live action potato quality entertainment of television shows. But we all know how many people were watching those shows. And they were groundbreaking record numbers of viewers around that time. And we all know that once the mid-90s rolled around, live action television shows started getting better, just a little bit better with the quality of entertainment. And the storytelling was a little bit better with the sitcoms. The sitcoms of the 80s and the 90s and all of the 70s. We all know that those sitcoms were rooted in older sitcom traditions of the 1920s and the 1950s. And what happens is that once every single sitcom that has its much older roots in the early days of Hollywood, and once those early days of Hollywood, when Hollywoodland was a thing. And then once those types of things ended up happening to change. We all know how when Hollywoodland was shortened to Hollywood, Hollywood was actually a very powerful medium and a very powerful tool of storytelling. And we all know that Hollywood was so conservative back when Hollywood first started out. Because I'm gonna say it. The pricing for the DVD box set of Saved by the Bell was almost $61. I had to save up like quite a bit of money to buy it. And I may even think about selling the DVD box set once I'm done and going watching every episode from start to finish and watching the movie from start to finish. And then I might think about selling it. Depending on how many DVDs there are, is how much I'm gonna sell for it. And once that's done, bam, I'm putting that money in my account. And we all know how it will end up.